What's going on, everyone? So I want to talk about the Florida Gators' big victory over Florida State in Tallahassee by a score of 31-11. I say yes. Big victory because the Florida Gators finished the season 7-5. I didn't even think they would finish that. I said 5-7 or 6-6 at best. So they exceeded my expectations. Florida State, oh my goodness, what a horrible season for them. They finished the season 2-10. And in this game, I think you see what this Florida State team was all year long, just a big mess. And look, Florida State, if they could just hold on to the ball, we're talking about a different game, and you're probably talking about a different season. Florida State fumbled the ball 8 times. They lost 5 of them. You're never going to win a game like that. Florida turned over the ball 1 time on a DJ Lagway interception. Not sure what happened right there. Miscommunication with the receivers. 2 receivers in 1 spot. It was kind of weird. But DJ Lagway did not play his best in this game, and Florida still got the victory over Florida State in Tallahassee. DJ Lagway had a QBR of 36.7. Like I said, it just wasn't a great game for him. Stats, 14 of 22. 133 yards, 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception. But Luke Krummenhoek for Florida State, he was 15 of 28, 140 yards through the air, a 26.3 QBR. Like I said, neither quarterback really lit it up. Now, I will say this, DJ Lagway had some of the best throws in the game. He shrugged off a 300-pound lineman, rolled out to his right. And I'm telling you, the spectacular throws, he was on point. He would put it right on the money. But he would miss somebody wide open and throw it way over their head. It was just an odd game from him. The receivers, some of the receivers just were not catching. Even though it hit them in the hands, they needed to catch it. And DJ Lagway just looked off from the get-go. But the Florida Gator run game was on point today. As a team, the Florida Gators ran 38 times, 235 yards, a 6.2 yard per carry average, and 2 touchdowns. The Florida State's average, listen, they carried the ball 44 times for only 99 yards, 2.3 yards per carry average. Listen, the Florida Gator defense was on point today. Jack Pyburn had a sack. He had a strip sack. Was it Cam Jackson, who was hurt earlier in the game? He ended with 2 sacks. Jaden Robinson ended with 2 sacks. Gums had a sack. I mean, 8 total sacks for the Florida Gator defense, 3 for the Florida State defense. And like I said, it wasn't just Lagway, especially offensively. That offensive line for Florida wasn't doing a great job, especially handling that Florida State front that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. But like I said, the offense just seemed out of sync, kind of why a lot of Florida Gator fans keep asking for a real offensive coordinator, not the head coach calling plays. Won't have a lot of this issue, especially at the end of the year. But, we'll see what happens in the offseason. If Billy Napier gives up play calling, it'll be interesting. But, for the most part, listen, Florida gets a victory over its rival. This always helps with recruiting. There was recruits there for Florida State, so could have an impact on that. Early National Signing Day is coming up. So huge win for Florida. Now, I want to talk about what happened after the game. Let's see. I think it was George Gums planted a flag right at midfield of Florida State. So you're in Tallahassee. Florida State takes exception to it. They don't like it. Mike Norvell doesn't shake Billy Napier's hand. Billy Napier actually came out and said that he's embarrassed by it, that there's going to be some consequences to it. So we'll have to see what happens there. I don't think it's really going to be nothing. Really, what I saw was not even close to what I saw from Ohio State, Michigan. But I have a feeling the NCAA with what's happened, and rivalry week is a little different too. Everything's so high. Tensions are high. Players, you played against these guys like Florida State. A lot of these guys played against each other in high school. So, the intensity level is heightened a little bit. So for Florida to plant the flag, Florida State just took exception to it. To me, it wasn't a huge deal. But Michigan, Ohio State, man, some people left bloodied. It was a different kind of outcome. There were pepper sprayed. The whole thing got out of hand. It was like 5 minutes long. Florida State, it was just Mike Norvell took the Florida Gator flag. To me, it is what it is. Mike Norvell, listen, he had no problem with his team taking out some of the sod against whenever they beat Florida last year. So, I mean, it is what it is. But Mike Norvell, I don't know. He just came off of his press conference like, I don't know, kind of like a sore loser in my opinion. You got beat. You had a bad season, so you probably should have just walked off the field and never did anything. Shook Napier's hand and just called it a day, called it a season. But I'm curious what y'all think in the comments. Do you think Mike Norvell took it too far? Do you think Billy Napier should even address or have consequences for the players? Okay, I get it as a coach. Maybe you don't like that, but I don't know. To me, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, I've said critical things about Billy Napier, but to me, this is not such a huge deal that anybody really needs to be punished severely or anything. So y'all let me know down in the comments. But big victory from the Florida Gators, finished season 75. Get a bowl game. Bowl game possibly could be the Gator Bowl against Duke. That's the last thing I've seen. So be interesting to see who Florida can play. But as always, guys, I appreciate y'all watching this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.